Neil Degrasse Tyson is not an unfamiliar name for many students like yourself. A Bronx native, he is known for his research on space and astronomy. He also teaches people about space exploration on his TV show called Cosmos. His work earned him the NASA Distinguished Service Award. Tyson is currently the head of the Hayden Planetarium in New York City. If you ask him, "Have you always been successful in life?" he would laugh out loud and say, "Oh, if only that were true." In 1980, he was so happy that he got into the University of Texas to study astronomy. At first, he thought grad school wouldn't be too hard. He got involved in many non-academic activities, such as dancing and wrestling, but this led to poor performance in his program. Eventually, he was asked to leave the program without getting a degree. He went back to his parents' house, hid in their basement, and reflected on what he wanted to do with his life and how he could solve this problem. He told his friend, "This was the lowest point in my life. I had this big dream of becoming an astrophysicist. Here I was, with no degree, no job, and no university to attend, and hiding in a basement. I felt like a big failure." Many people would have just quit at this point, but Tyson didn't. He contacted the chair of the astrophysics department at Columbia University. In his letter, he wrote, "I ran into difficulties at the University of Texas. Circumstances are such that I need to transfer from my graduate program. Will you consider taking me as a student?" The chair responded, "The fact that you are still on your feet shows your strength. We will give you a chance, but you have to take a general exam to make sure you're on the same level with our students." He studied hard to prepare for this exam. He passed it and was admitted into Columbia University's astrophysics PhD program. This time, he decided to not only focus on his schoolwork, but also take on challenging courses. When students had to choose which classes to take, most of them asked which teacher was the easiest and gave out good grades. Tyson had a different approach. He asked who pushed students the hardest, offered tough feedback, and didn't just give out high grades easily. He decided to take an advanced calculus class, which was known to be very demanding. For 6 months, he struggled with the math concepts taught in that class. He worked extra hard to understand them, often practicing challenging problems after class. In the end, he gained a deep understanding of calculus and created new problem-solving strategies that he still uses today. In a recent interview, Tyson emphasized the importance of coming up with new thoughts about what you're learning.
I have a hypothesis. I didn't do the experiment, but it's not good enough to only be smart at something or to score high on an exam. At some point, you have to step away from the exam and say, I have a new thought that no one has had before. And it's not a thought that you told me to regurgitate on this exam that you just wrote, because it's a thought that no one has had before.
In Tyson's eyes, new thoughts are created in classes where teachers give you tough feedback that pushes you to produce high-quality work. In whatever you choose to do it because it's hard, not because it's easy.